Okay, and then I'm going to go live on Noon Vibe.
Noon Vibe. Love that name.
Okay, bring in listeners. Come on, listeners, come on down.
Come on in, open your ears. Let's go.
Open ears. Yeah, it's going to sound a little, yeah, my mic is disconnected. I don't know what I'm okay. And we are really live. Let's go.
Ayo, it's time to go. Yeah, you know what it is. Get into it. Don't act like you don't already know the name. Let's go. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? You heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? I said you heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? I said you heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. Now it's over. Zip, zip, zip.
Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to Mother and Son. Let me make sure there's a Mother and Son making sense out of nonsense.
Plus more.
However, if we want more listeners, the algorithm says to change the title to what happens when a mom and son make sense out of nonsense.
Yeah, that's right. What happens when a mother son makes sense of nonsense? Because we don't really know what's going to happen. I think it's everyone's guess. And if you want to know what this is about, you're going to find out just like us. But this is basically a show about
No filler
spi-
words. No filler words.
this is a show about spirituality, about our mother-son relationship and dynamic, how we have evolved over the years, our personal transcendence and our transcendence as a little family, with some sprinkled falderall nonsense malarkey along the way.
Don't forget balderdash.
I knew there was another one, balderdash. That's right.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm beyond excited. Only I don't know what it is. This last minute thing, waiting to the last minute. I didn't even teach class today, so I had an extra hour, and I'm still rushing. What is that about?
I don't know. Wow, I wish I didn't know that because I always give you the benefit of the doubt knowing that you teach right before. But now that I know that you don't, hey, it's just a little bit more drama, Nicholas. Nobody said we didn't like drama, didn't like participating in drama. We're a very dramatic duo.
Well, but I really would like your because that is drama. And it is a habit, it is an addiction. I had an hour extra and I'm running around here like a chicken with my head cut off. Anyway, we'll have to dive into well, what do you yeah, it is drama. It is
Yeah,
drama.
let's dive in that because that's such a good topic, and I totally relate. I don't know, it's such a phenomenon to have all of this time and then to still be rushing at the last minute. What is that? To me, it doesn't make sense. I think one thing that came to me recently was getting that fire to do something, and a lot of times I don't feel that motivation, that fire. I don't want to do whatever I'm about to do, so if I leave it till there's not really a lot of time to do it, that's what lights the fire for me.
Well, isn't that a nice story?
It's a nice story, but I don't want to live that way for too much because it is stressful. And I really do think when you use the word addiction, I think you use the word habit too, and I think those are good words. I like to use the word system now. And there's just a system in place, and if the system is in place, it's going to be there until we
create a new system and put that in place.
I like that. I like that. And consistently do it, consistently put it in place. And the other thing is I'm rushing around drama. There's something I'm getting out of it. So if I continually do something and I say, "Oh, I'm so stressed," and I keep doing it over and over and over, that means I'm getting something out of it.
Well, that's a really good point too. Or is that that makes sense to my mind that I'm getting something out of it. There's a it's another word. It's not dopamine. It's another word, and I just heard it yesterday, but I'll have to come back with it. It's one of these chemicals that go off in our brain.
Serotonin.
Yeah, I know it's another one. There's another one, and they were talking about being addicted to excitement and producing this chemical in our brain, which we really can do even in our own mind. We don't even have to be moving or rushing around. It can be created in our mind. And it really got me thinking, when am I looking for that hit, that excitement, whatever we want to call it, that energy, and can I be okay? I've been using the word boring here and there when I'm talking about meditation and even people that I think are quote unquote boring. And listen, I grew up with you and you're anything but boring. You're a lot of things, but you ain't boring.
And to our boring audience, no offense. By the
You're
way,
boring.
like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Oh, by the
Like
way,
and
like and subscribe.
yeah, tune in so you can tune out. Like and subscribe, you bored. No.
And and to our boring people and our boring listeners, you know, maybe there's something to you. And maybe there's something to hanging out with a boring person and going to the park and have a boring time and boring meditate. I mean, that's not quite the right word, but that energy of just neutrality is really what I'm talking about.
No, there isn't.
Well, that's too bad.
Well, let's, I have so much today to dive into. Can we get
Yes.
to our word of the day?
Yeah, so for our new listeners, we do a word of the day every week. And yes, I have one. I like to hear yours first.
Oh, you
Hey,
want me to go first? You go first.
I'll go first. And it's a little bit of a cheat because it's a triple word, and it is quid pro quo.
Oh, I know that word.
I know it.
Words.
I know that words. So
I know the words.
I know that words too, but I didn't know what it meant. And I heard this in the Silence of the Lambs, that really gruesome, suspenseful. It was good. It was just very uh, twisted. Anyway, so they used that word, and she said, "This is a quid pro quo." Remember? And I said, "What does that really mean?" So, what it means is a favor or advantage granted in return for something. The example sentence is, "The pardon was a quid pro quo for their help in releasing hostages."
Yeah, it's a legal term.
Oh.
And let me say this just to give a little bit of background. You never saw, what you're doing is watching classic movies that you've never seen. So you just recently watched Silence of the Lambs. And if you would have called your mother, I would have told you to bypass it because it's not a good movie. I don't think it's a good, what's so good about it? Did it make you feel good? Did it, your energy? Do you feel great? No, it's tense, it's anxious. It's not a good, no, thank you. I don't think it's a good movie
Well, what a
at
good
all.
well, well, what a good topic. I mean, we were just talking about drama. It is all drama, all suspense. I will say, I mean, if you're talking about something positive I got from it, what I did get from it was that main character's determination. She was a young FBI agent, and she was new and didn't think she was qualified for the job. I mean, I was witnessing somebody who was finding their way to being qualified for a job and doing her best, even though she was scared. And even then, this man was the most challenging man for anybody to deal with. But for some reason, she had something that she could do it, and she was trusted by her uppers to do it, and she had to trust in herself. So that's one positive thing I got out of it.
Well, I contend that you can find yourself challenge yourself with all that without dealing with a serial killer that skins people and eats them. I'm good. Next topic. So that's your word. Your word's quid pro quo. My word is obsequious.
What a good one. No, I have not heard of that.
Let me spell it. Obsequious. Obsequious. And it means someone that's eager to help. So I have a question. Do you think it's a positive or a negative?
Obsequious. It sounds, I would say positive.
Obsequious, eager to help or agree with someone that they think is more important than they are. Just to shorten it up, a kiss ass.
And it is an obsequious person or an obsequious thing to do?
Both.
All right. Well,
Characterized by or showing servile obedience and excessive eagerness to please, fawning, ingratiating, and obsequious. Oh, let me please you. No, yeah. So obsequious.
well, I love the word. I really like that. And unfortunately, I do relate because I've been obsequying you my whole life and I'm finally done.
Are you sure?
Well, that's a good question. No, I'm not so sure yet because I might have to obsequy you to save my own ass. Let's see. It's an adjective. That they were served by obsequious waiter. So yes, I would be an obsequious person, but I don't want to be. I want to be ex-obsequious.
Thank you. By the way, I'm waiting for Voss to contact me. We are definitely want Voss as one of our sponsors. Voss, the wetter water.
And I don't know why you don't like better, but I like wetter, better water. Do you think that's too
Oh,
long? Oh,
I like that too. Wetter water.
wetter, better water.
Better water.
Now, I don't know if this is also mine today. I don't know if I want to promote them or not. This is the first day I'm trying it. It's a mushroom drink. I know there's plenty of them out there. We'll see. It's very highly recommended on Amazon. It's called Everyday Dose, and I will be drinking it through the course of our show. And you tell me. I'll let you know.
Well, I do know that mushroom coffees, mushroom are the new rave, and yes, I do know that they're very beneficial, including, did we talk about peptides last week?
No, and I want to bring that up. And for our audio listeners, it's called Everyday Dose. Everyday Dose. So yes, peptides. I'd love to hear about that. Was one of my topics.
However, let me just say this for our Noon Vibe audience, and we've already lost people on YouTube, but good riddance.
I'm surprised they stayed on that long.
So you can also watch us live on my YouTube channel, which is Rebecca Norrington. But I really want to get into this topic. This is a big deal, especially this week after the election. And I want to talk about, Nathan and I had a conversation, and we were talking about the energy in the country and the variety of energy in the country. And we were both exchanging our own perspectives, but we never mentioned the candidates. We never mentioned who won. We never mentioned who lost. We were keeping the mirror on ourselves and the feelings and the thoughts and the stories that came up with that. And I just want to share that you, myself included, you know what you're identifying with, or who you're identifying with, or who you really are when you're challenged. The who you are comes out when you're challenged, and so there's a lot of fear, future fear. There's a lot of blame. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of disdain. I mean, there are people just becoming unhinged, and it's not about judging. It's just about observing. And I had to challenge myself also, because I've had this issue, this attachment to a cause, attachment to a country, attachment to all of that. And I am proud that at this moment in time, I mean, 68 to be 69, that the attachment to an outcome, the attachment to a country, and all of that is softening, disappearing, melting.
Yeah, that's such a big one. That's, I mean, I was born here, you were born in this country, and I think that there are some things I didn't even realize, stories that I had about a country and where I'm from that are so embedded in my everyday thinking and being so attached to these what feels true to me. And I like that word unhinged. I see that as well. I can see the unhingedness, and I've been seeing it throughout this course of the whole everything before the election, last election, 2 elections ago, and I see it over and over again. And my work is not becoming unhinged myself. And I looked this up because I was looking at social media and so uh, just kind of curious who was posting what and why. I Googled, are feelings contagious? And Google said, one of the responses, or a few responses, said that feelings can be contagious, these emotions. And so if I'm seeing and hearing fear and anger and worry, and I'm around it and listening to it, I can start to feel like that can be contagious for me if I don't reset and protect myself and remind myself of who I am, and is this my fear? Just like any sickness or illness, I have to take the precautions so that I don't get it too, because I can feel it in me.
And you feel it, and because you are an empath, you even feel more. You're an empath.
Yes.
I'm a Teflon Don. It does.
Yes.
Yeah. It was just a real lesson for me, and my evolution and my transcending who I used to be. But what shifted it about a couple months ago, I was I was talking to a gentleman on, I'll shout out to Henry Cameron, and he lives in Spain, but he's an American. And then he says, no, because I said, you're an American. He says, no, I'm a global citizen. And it just shifted something in me, the attachment to American, as opposed to just, yeah, I'm a global, or I can even say I'm a universal citizen.
That's yeah, well, that one blew my mind all over again. I love both of those. And the word that came to me today with my intention is freedom, is that word freedom and being free within myself. And I do have choices, and there's a million choices I have. I'm not stuck, I'm not trapped. Because that's what gets me, that's what the stories start. And then I start getting really afraid and I feel really powerless and small. And then just whatever, all those stories just pile up on top of each other. Our conversation was so good. And it was just nice. I've had some, probably 3 or 4 conversations, and even my classes the last few days have been really positive. It's been a great week for me, and just I don't know what it is, if people are looking for relief coming to classes, or just to not talk about it for a little bit, or for me it's helping me focus what's really important to me. And
Mhm.
the government and who is in some chair or who is signing some bill has a really, really, really small level of importance in my day-to-day life. This show is important to me. That being in the present moment right here, right now is important to me. What I do after this show, in my car, being on the road, that's important. In the moment, important to me. And our conversation was so in the moment, and I don't even know the people that are running or in office. I don't know them. I don't talk to them. I talk to you.
Yeah, and it's just not your thing. But I taught my class the truth about happiness on Wednesday, and I asked people, how many people are feeling, how are you
Mm.
feeling? And one lady, I mean, she's been in my class for all 5 semesters, and she started crying, and she was fearful, future fear attached to an outcome, being worried. The worry is so deep, and being into it, worrying about something that you can't control, future. It was so much. And I asked her, I said, can you come up with another perspective? Just one other perspective. I asked her 3 times, and she looked at me, she just said no. And I said, well, know that your ego has you stuck with one perspective, because she was distraught. She was, and I even to the point where I got my contact list for the students in my class, because I was going to contact her, just do a one-on-one, but I don't know her name. I give everybody nicknames, so I really don't know her real name. But yeah, I'm still trying to locate her. But yeah, it was distraught beyond, and there was no settling her down. There was no comforting. It was beyond. It was beyond her comprehension, because there was only one perspective that she could imagine, and that's it. Whatever I'm challenged by, I know it's my ego. If I can't come up with another perspective, the ego only offers one.
So many good things. Well, when I think when the ego is in control, when the ego is driving, which means if there is a story playing in my mind, a storyline of thoughts, or a feeling is taking over the body, it's taking over until it's not. And I can't force it out. I can't reason with it. I can't soothe it out. I just can be aware of it. What are you dipping for?
I don't know. Well, if you're watching us live, one of my ongoing jokes is to, when he's talking and he's really got a role and it's good, I just dip and pretend I'm not interested. But I'm pretending, I'm acting.
Oh man, that one stung a little bit.
Oh, good. You see, no wonder he doesn't call me.
Man. And if you're listening and not visual, I'm rolling my eyes. Anyways, so yeah, that when I think the feelings. Anyway,
What? Oh, look at
uh,
that. I triggered him in the show. Wow.
I mean that wouldn't be the first time. Anyway, my point is that she's feeling the way she's feeling. I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. Everyone's feeling the way they're feeling, and I don't think it's my job to change it, but I definitely want to be aware of it, and I want to ease into feeling powerful, and ease into feeling my peace, and ease into feeling that healthy boredom that we were talking about earlier. It's just it's drama. It's just stress and drama, and for me and what I see, it doesn't matter who's doing what out there. There's always something going on to
Yes,
justify this drama in me, the stress in me.
yes. And just know that you are a minority. You're a minority, that not being consumed with what's going on out there at this particular time.
Well, I try not to be. I that's
Yes,
my practice. And I want to not be consumed by it, but I also don't want to have my head in the sand either. So there's a balance for me.
yes, I love that. May I bring up a Soarington that just happened this morning?
Yeah, so if you're new, this is a segment called Norrington versus Soarington. We are Norringtons, and sometimes we are Soaringtons, which I think you can figure out on your own, and you will definitely understand after this story.
Well, they understood maybe about a minute ago when you were triggered.
Yes,
I
I
was,
was a Soarington. I was Norrington, then I was Soarington. Mm.
that's a mother's job, is to train them for the world. If he can get past me, if he can transcend me, he can transcend the world.
Well, I hope I transcend you before I transcend out of this life. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I hope
It'll
so.
happen. It'll happen. It'll happen. So
Thanks
this
for the
morning,
encouragement.
well, you're welcome.
It
That's what
will
mothers
happen.
do. That's what mothers do. This morning, I received an email that said that I deleted, if you deleted your phone number off of your Zelle account, if you did not delete your phone number off your Zelle account, please contact us immediately. I did not delete my phone number from my Zelle account. And so immediately I went into this panic mode, identity theft, someone's hacking my account. And of course, so I called the number and it says, is this a business? You know, your option number one, is it a business? Option number two, is it personal? I said personal. And I kept pressing one for personal and it says, we did not get your choice. We did not get your, and I pressed it 4 times and then I got the response, well, you've run out of times. Goodbye. Now, to add to my anxiousness and my account has been hacked. To add to that, now I've got to call back, and the wait time is 20 minutes. The same thing. Now I'm looking online for a different number. I'm in the state of this is important. This is serious. This needs to be handled now, not tomorrow, not 15 minutes ago. And that's one of the reasons why I could teach this morning. I said, no, I have to handle this. Finally, I get a lady, get someone on customer service, and she gives me this long introduction. Hello, how is your day going? Which in that state, if you ask me how my day is going and I might as well just take a dagger and stab you. And I'm a happiness specialist. And I said, you know, I really need to know if I cut her off. I said, because she was going this long, you know, introduction, services, what do you need? And I'm here to help you. And I just said, listen, I need to know if my account has been hacked. Okay. Her name was May. Okay, May. I needed to know her name so I could yell at her personally. Anyway, I digress. And so she assured me that it was just Zelle has been making some changes. And so Zelle deleted the number. They're using other ways of identifying the account. So it was from Zelle and it was legit. I haven't been hacked, all of that. And the final straw, she said by script, is there anything else I can help you with?
And did you choose to A, hang up on her, B, respond?
As soon as she said, is there any, and click, I was a Soarington times 10. I can answer a lot of things, but somehow this customer service just keeps on giving.
The gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, that's such a good one. I mean, I've heard it. If I've heard one customer service story, I've heard them all. And yeah, so this was this morning.
This morning. That's why I didn't teach, because this was serious. I needed to get this handled.
Well, I heard 2 things. I heard a Soarington story, and then I heard Seriousington story. And one thing that I am continuously trying to work on, which is something I needed to work on in this show, which you so graciously helped me with, is taking things serious, just being serious. And I think it sneaks up on me. I don't know that I'm getting more and more serious and more serious and until all of a sudden I realize, wow, I'm in a really serious state and things are important and they need to be handled immediately. And I can't rest, and I refuse. I mean, the ego refuses to be in any kind of peace or acceptance until this very serious thing is dealt with. And
Yes.
and one of them, I mean, I have two of them, but one of them is my neighbor, my new downstairs neighbor. Welcome to the neighborhood. Likes to play music sometimes. And
Uh-oh.
yeah, and I'm just
The
I
nerve.
the nerve. And listen, I love music and I love playing music, but we're in very close quarters and I can't hear it all the way, but I can hear the bass and I can hear it from my place, which means it's too loud and it's serious and it's serious. And I refuse to be at peace until this is handled. I mean, those are the thoughts that are going through my mind. So when I took a step back this morning and used that word freedom, or that word freedom came to me, all of these different perspectives starting to come to me. I could move, I could have a conversation with him. I could play my music. I could take a break from the apartment. I could not do anything and see if I'm cool with it. There's so many other perspectives. And one of the perspectives I had, one of the fantasies that I played out was a conversation with him, and it was a confrontational. I have these fake fights. I act them out, and it was hey, and he's an asshole. I don't really even know. Maybe he's not an asshole. Maybe it's a nice conversation. Maybe it's a conversation that has nothing to do with music, and it's just saying hi to the neighbor. How are you? I'm new to the building. Welcome. I'm above you. Let's be good neighbor. I don't know. It's just there's so many other perspectives and choices, and that to me is freedom. And I
I'm
don't
so
know. Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought that up because this is enough. See this, you have a continuing pattern of this. People are doing this, so let me have a conversation so they don't do it anymore. From people coming to the class, not knowing what equipment to make, and now we have a neighbor that maybe I need a conversation. Hey, stop playing your music. I'm telling you right now, that never works. Never. Peace is found within 100% of the time. I have to handle my own buttons. I have to handle my own triggers. It never works. If you want something that works 100 times, you were mentioning, look in the mirror. I can play my music. I can leave all of it. I can move, but it's up to the individual to make the shift. But I get it. So now we have, you see how it grows? Having a conversation with someone else,
Well,
telling your mother not to text you so much. All of that, it never works.
right. I don't think it works in the long term. I think it's like spot cleaning. It's not real. It's not really getting underneath the rug. It's not really getting to the real heart of it. It's like covering up a stain on my shirt with Febreze. It's not really cleaning it. It's not really getting underneath and seeing what's going on. So I do agree with that. And I mean, my perspective in talking to him is not for me to be at peace with this. It's maybe I'm just supposed to talk to him. It has nothing to do with the music, or it has nothing to do with my peace. I'm trying to think outside of the box. What
Okay.
am I being asked to explore that's different than what I've already done? I
Okay.
mean, that got me to the library. Now I'm a libraryaholic. And
You're a
so
library rat.
and I tried a new one. Now I have three libraries. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so excited. The third library that I tried out yesterday has got a ton of spaces to sit. And I mean, this is a crazy ton story. And I almost moved because the person behind me was
Was
clicking
breathing.
close. You're close. They were clicking their keyboard too loudly.
Oh my God.
And I'm
No.
and I'm serious.
I know
I
you
looked
are.
I looked back and they were pounding on the keyboard and stopping and I looked back like what is I almost had to move And then I scouted out other areas to sit, and some woman was listening to something on her phone quietly, but I could still hear it. And anyway, I reluctantly sat next to the clicker, and listen, this is, I can either ask the world day by day, minute by minute to be different to appease me, or I can do something within.
Wow. That's really, I know exactly now what I'm going to get you for Christmas.
What, earplugs?
Earmuffs.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
gonna be a little different than that. I need earmuffs, and then I need a cave.
okay, I got a cave at the house. Come home. Come home. I'll make a cave for you.
A cave that can protect me from you.
Well, no.
Nice,
Okay.
nice try.
Hmm, okay, maybe that's not a good idea.
We'll have to talk about a quid pro quo to see what we can do here.
Well, I was just trying to be, what the hell was my,
Obsequious. You
I
trying
was
to be
just,
obsequious with me?
yes, I was trying to kiss your ass. I was just being obsequious. Forgive me.
Well, that would be a first. You've never been obsequious before in your life.
That's not true. I was very obsequious when I was working at the senior center in Roseburg, Oregon.
Huh?
I
That's right.
was walking around those seniors making their sandwiches. We don't have enough lettuce. Okay, washing the dishes, putting the dishes away, cleaning toilets. Very obsequious.
You were very I remember those stories. I was really blown away by your obsequiousness working at the senior center.
Volunteering for abuse. Who does that?
So to get back to a very quick 10-second product placement, I've been drinking everyday dose, and it does taste a little bit like coffee, which is neither here nor there for me. I do feel some kind of effect, but I don't know if I feel a great effect, and I'll get back to you next week.
Well, thank you for that. And did I tell you about my nicotine patches?
No.
Yes, nicotine is actually a nutrient, and I am nicotining myself. I wear a patch every day. It's 10 milligrams. I cut the patch in half, 10 milligrams every day for the last 2 weeks.
That
Yes.
is that is the most Rebecca Lynn Norrington thing I've heard all week. You're wearing nicotine patches. I mean, that is so crazy. That is just like something I would do.
Is that crazier than me taking my little lion cub stuffed bear and putting her in the chair next to me last night to watch TV?
Just as crazy. I mean, that's why I have cats. At least it's a step up from that crazy. At least they're not stuffed.
Good point. Now, okay, now, because look at this. We
I
only got,
know.
this is just too much information. I have to tell you live on air, guess what your mother's going to do?
Oh yes. What's the big reveal?
Well, they have all of these, what is it? You initial, everything is initial. What is that called again?
Oh, like an acronym?
Yes.
Yes.
So, SMH, shaking my head, LOL, laugh out loud.
Yes, yes.
Excuse me, but I'm just using this for the acronym MAGA, MAGA, and then make America healthy again. Well, I am going to make Rebecca cute again. What?
That's
Make
good. That's really good.
Thank you. Make Rebecca cute again. I'm 68. I'm going to be 69 in 2 weeks. And so it's time to spruce all this up. And guess what? Unlike you, who I learned after the job was done, unlike you, I'm getting a tattoo. I'm getting tattoos.
Wow.
However, they're vanity tattoos. So my eyebrows have a little sparsity here. And I'm looking at pictures because I don't wear makeup. And I'm looking at pictures, and I've seen too many pictures where it looks like I have two eyebrows on one side because I have a
Oh.
space and I have spaces. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm trying to get close. I have spaces. So I'm going to get tattoos, little lines, little hairlines tattoos. And that idea came to me yesterday. Make Rebecca cute again.
That's so good. Wow, I really love that. I'm such a fan. That is now that's a movement I can support. I'll campaign. I'll vote for it. I'll watch the polls. I'll that I'm into. Make Rebecca cute again. And then tattoos. I have heard of that, and I've seen that the eyebrow tattoo. That is a thing. Yes.
However, there are eyebrow tattoos that look so
So
bad.
bad.
In fact, sue on Survivor. You might as well just put a black marker. I mean, there are bad tattoos and good tattoos, and bad eyebrow tattoos, and bad eyeliner tattoos. And in fact, Michael Jackson, when he died, I was looking at the autopsy. He had a lip liner tattoo on his lips. And yeah, so there's bad and good. I have to make sure that someone just knows how to put little lines that look like
Yes.
right there to fill in my space in my eyebrows.
Yeah, and I'm sure, well, I have no idea, but I would assume that you would get to see what it would look like. I don't know if they draw it on before. When I got my two tattoos, they make a stencil and then they put it on, so I got to see exactly what it was going to look like before it was done.
Love that. That's exactly what I'm going to
Yeah.
do. So that's my Make Rebecca Cute Again story.
That is so funny. I really love that. I'm gonna copycat you on that. We have a segment called Copycat, and I'm gonna totally copycat you. I don't know if I'm gonna do the exact same wording, but it's gonna be make Nathan something again. I'll tell you that. Yes.
Okay. I love that. I want to jump into a topic just really quick. I know, gosh, we're running out of time,
Yeah,
Nathan.
it's almost over.
A topic about anxiety and self-induced anxiety. And I haven't been able to, if I'm watching football, or because I was watching a football game, it was the Ravens, and I don't watch the whole game. I always tape the games and then I watch it after, so I can fast forward to I just keep fast forwarding. I could watch a 3-hour football game in a half hour, maybe 20 minutes. And there were two teams, and I had a preference as who I wanted to win. That causes a lot of anxiety, a lot of angst. I want to win. So my solution has been find who won the game, since I've already taped it. Find who won the game, and if the team that I had a preference for didn't win, then I don't need to watch it. And this winning and losing, winning even produces anxiety. Losing produces anxiety. I'm done with it. So that's my small solution to really put an end to that anxiety, self-caused anxiety.
Well, that's such a good story. I want to take that into next week and add on to what we were talking about with the state of the United States, of the world this week, with that winning losing energy. And this is so important because what I heard from you is detaching from the outcome. And there is an outcome to these games, there's an outcome to the elections, there's a winner, there's a loser, and there's so much build up to the outcome, and so much so that it clouds what happened before, what happens afterwards. And I think it's really deep, so I want to save that because it's interesting that you said you look up who won and then go back. If I think there's something really profound in that, and a
Also,
good lesson in detaching from the outcome. And what does that even mean? How do we do that?
and also, if the whole disappointment, I mean, our best friend loves to watch people, if so there's always a team that goes to the home field, basketball, home court, home field, and he loves to watch people that at home lose. He's just they're just devastated. Oh, it gets a kick out of all of it. And So it's having expectations. If you want to eliminate all disappointment and all heartbreak for the rest of your life, eliminate your expectations. So not only detaching from outcomes, not having any expectations.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I'm gonna write that down. Expectations is a really good one, and I know what they're talking about. There's something entertaining, and it's just so over the top with that dramatic reaction, and it just looks like wow. It's just yeah. I can't explain it, but there's something entertaining about it.
Yes, entertaining people are, oh,
Yeah.
yes, in a dark kind of way.
Yes, I
Yeah.
don't know what it is, but I do have it, and I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be taken so low, and I am taking low the everyday things, or taken high, or taken sideways, and for me that seriousness, it's just I think that's what one of the benefits of all these things being online and social media is people will find the unseriousness in anything.
Amens.
Amen to that, and I think we're about ready to wrap it up here, folks.
Oh, well, like and subscribe. This is our 48th show. This feels like it's only been 5 minutes. Share with your friends, like and subscribe, share the show, whatever.
And come back, and all y'all come back now. You hear? And I was thinking for our 50th show, maybe we dive into Penske. We will give them a little Penske introduction to Penske and our story, and what that means to us on our 50th.
Our Penske history. I love it. I thought
Yeah,
you were going to say and make the 45-minute show into 2 hours.
we could. I don't know if any. Well, we could.
No, not 2 hours. I was exaggerating.
Let's see if the audience, yeah, audience, if you want us to do an extra long show, let us know and we'll be more than happy to.
That's not going to happen. Nobody's. And that's why the show is about you and about me. And audience, I love you, but you can go to
Go to
no.
you
It's
know where.
Rick Rubin, who's a very famous producer. He's worked with everyone, and he says it's my work has never been out, never out. I've created. It has never been about trying to please an audience. It's just an expression of my creativity or what I do, but I'm never out being obsequious to an audience. It's never that. It's always about my expression. So yeah, I love you, audience, but if we had 0 people listening, it would still be okay.
And great use of that word to close us out. While you really slipped it in there quite cleverly. All right, y'all. Till the next time. Bye bye.
It's time
Hey
to
yo, it's time to go. Yeah, you know what it is. Get into it. Don't act like you don't already know the name. Let's go. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? You heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? I said you heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? I said you heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. Now it's over.
you see